9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Good evening. Welcome to the City of Moraine Committee of the Whole meeting here for August 14th. Can we have a roll call, please?
Mrs. Allen,
Here.
Mayor Murphy,
Here.
Mr. Miller,
Here.
Mr. Doherty,
Here.
Mr. Burchett,
Here.
Mrs. Witt,
Here.
Ms. Marcus.
I'd like to make a motion to excuse Miss Marcus from tonight's meeting.
You've heard the motion. We have a roll call, please.
Mayor Murphy,
Yes.
Mr. Miller,
Yes.
Mr. Doherty,
Yes.
Mr. Burchett,
Yes.
Mrs. Witt,
Yes.
Mrs. Allen.
Yes.
In your packet was the Committee of the Whole meeting minutes from July 24th meeting. Is there any corrections or comments? If not, we will accept them as approved. So approved. Under topics of discussion tonight, Finance Director,
I have nothing to report, Mr. Miller.
thank you. City Manager,
I have no items, Mr. Miller. Thank you.
thank you. Mayor,
I have nothing to report at this time, thank you.
Law Director,
I have nothing, Mr. Miller. Thank you.
and Clerk of Council.
Just to let you know, I did finalize the National League of Cities membership, so we are now members, and you should be getting inundated with emails anytime soon now.
Yes.
All right, thank you, Karen. Under business tonight, our first item is amendment to MCO Section 159.01, and this is an emergency expense.
That's my item, Mr. Miller. So I would say probably sometime last month or so, the finance director, myself, had a discussion where she brought up a potential instance where we have a bona fide emergency situation that exceeds the city manager's threshold and how to address that. Currently, as you know, the city manager is permitted to make expenditures on behalf of the city up to $50,000. The way the MCO currently reads under 159.01 is that emergency contracts or expenditures authorized by a vote of 2/3 of members of council are exempt from competitive bidding. The concern we discussed was, what if there is an instance which requires immediate action via demolition, purchase of products, et cetera, to address the situation that exceeds $50,000, and perhaps the next council meeting isn't until 2 weeks away? How can we address that if there is a true emergency? So in talking with the finance director, and also then we consulted with the city manager, what I suggested was the language to add to MCO 159.01 B4, which would be an exception, which indicates that basically when there is a real and present threat to public health, welfare, or safety, including but not limited to a natural or man-made disaster requiring the immediate procurement of services, supplies, materials, construction, demolition, or equipment, the city manager may authorize the purchase and/or expenditure of funds up to $100,000 by purchase order of the needed services, supplies, materials, construction, demolition, or equipment. A record of all emergency purchases and expenditures shall be reported to the city council by the city manager as soon as practicable after the emergency situation has been addressed. The city manager and the impacted department shall keep a written determination of the basis for the emergency and for the selection of a particular contractor or supplier to the relevant city files. Therefore, we're requesting that council move forward this amendment to this section of the MCO for first reading at the next council meeting. If there are questions, I'll try to address those, and if the city manager or the finance director would like to add anything, I'll turn the floor over to them.
Have we had such an emergency?
So there was an incident in the building last month where some water came into a temporary dispatch center. If the pipe in question had been 20 feet the other way, we would have hit $100,000 the first week.
But would that not have been insurance?
Someone still has to pay for it and buy it immediately. So insurance may pay for it, but that would be months later after insurance companies and lawyers get it involved.
So it works different than homeowner insurance apparently.
It doesn't pay you right at all.
Yeah.
Homeowners should, okay.
Takes a while before it
But
pays.
that's one
No, mine-
example.
Well,
Okay,
mine
'cause
flooded and it was
I just
immediate,
wondered
so
if we could have call a special meeting at that
that's what I
point.
was thinking, special.
Have a special council meeting. I mean, I don't know. Anybody, any ideas from the rest of council?
I
What do they
think
feel?
that
That's fine.
such an emergency is going to be so rare that, and we have an administrative staff that we trust to make the right decisions, and I would want them to be able to move immediately. Although it's a great idea to try to round all 7 of us up, but
That
I
be
agree
an
with
ordinance
Dave.
or a resolution?
For this?
Yeah.
This is ordinance, because you're
So it would
amending the
have to
codified
be
ordinance, so it would
four.
have to be 2 readings.
Oh, but if it was an emergency, there'll have to be a vote of 4.
Yeah, if you were to have a special meeting, is that what you mean? Yeah, if you
Right.
were to have a special meeting, you would need a vote of 4.
Okay. Anybody else?
So you agreed with
Oh.
Dave.
I agree with what Dave said.
Okay,
any other discussion?
well, yes, the move it to council regular meeting. I'll make the motion that we move the amendment MCO section 159.01 to the next regular council meeting.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Miller,
Yes?
Mr. Doherty,
Yes.
Mr. Burchett,
Yes.
Mrs. Witt,
Well, just to move it next forward.
Yes,
Mrs. Allen,
Yes.
Mayor Murphy.
yes.
Next item on the agenda is the Marine Codified Ordinances Quarterly Codification Supplement.
That would be mine. We just did an update a couple weeks ago, but when they did the codification, they had not completed the second quarter, which included everything passed in June, which included the dispensary, the Merit System Commission, things like that. So this will just go ahead and codify those, bring everything up to date. I'm asking for an emergency so everything can be codified immediately.
Any discussion or questions?
I'll make a motion that we move that forward to the next meeting.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Doherty,
Yes.
Mr. Burchett,
Yes.
Mrs. Witt,
Yes,
Mrs. Allen,
Yes.
Mayor Murphy,
Yes,
Mr. Miller.
Yes. Final item on the agenda is the 2025 Pinnacle Road Culvert Replacement Program.
Hi, everybody. So on June 25th, we noticed that there was a depression in the road on Pinnacle, right across from Deer Meadow Park. And then after we went in further inspection, we saw that there was a 60-inch culvert that goes under the road, and it is severely deteriorated. So that road is supposed to be paved by Barrett as part of our 2025 paving program. So we reached out to them and started putting together a cost estimate to get that fixed before they put new road over the top of it. On July 16th, we saw that a hole had formed in the road. So streets put some signs up, they put a steel plate over it to keep anybody from rolling over it and hopefully slow the hole formation. And after that, we decided that we needed to replace the pipe in kind, add a manhole at the 2 blind connections that we found, and replace the head walls on each end of the pipe. Quickly, the estimate went over the 10% of the asphalt program contingency, so we decided we needed to put it out to bid. We had a very successful bidding with 9 bids received. Broomball was the low bid at $261,888. With the 10% contingency, that would bring it to $288,068. The 2 items needed to get this project going so that we can make sure we don't have another sinkhole and that we can repave this as part of our paving program. We'll need legislation for a supplemental appropriation and to award the project to Broomba. Does anybody have any questions about this?
yeah, it goes from the sludge pit across the street over into Deer Meadow. So you're taking water from where the old sludge thing used to be from Apple Paperton over to Deer Meadow. How does that help us?
So upon researching and looking at the flow and the hydrology of the area, the pond at Deer Meadow has inflow pipes that are bringing stormwater from north of the area as well as the park itself. This water goes into the pond, and then the pond has an outlet pipe that goes from the pond into the ditch that is just north of the bike path there. The water then flows down that ditch towards the 60-inch pipe, and then it crosses the street in the 60-inch pipe, and then flows into the sludge area.
Right, there's no ditch over in the sludge area though. It just, so really, we're getting the water. Has it ever flooded?
Yes.
When?
After discussions with street department as well as former employees of the area, the ditch has backed up and flown across Pinnacle Road Pinnacle Road in order to get to the area south of Deer Meadow Park. There's also evidence within the pipe from the water lines, as well as the two blind connections going into the storm sewer, that this pipe regularly flows at half full. Any properly designed pipe should not be flowing that full, which is further evidence that when this pipe is experiencing a storm event, it is not large enough to convey the amount of water. But putting in a larger pipe is, I think, at this moment when we're trying to just determine the storm calcs without doing a further in-depth survey and study of the area, we should be okay with a half-flowing pipe conveying most storm events.
The other thing, looking at the pictures and knowing what's beside Deer Meadow, how come it's never cleaned out? That pipe's never cleaned out. That section is all filled with weeds and things that grow. If it was all cleaned out and the pipe was cleaned out, wouldn't the water flow a lot better?
So the unfortunate part about how the city has been staffed in this past decade is that a lot of the maintenance has not been performed on much of the roads and the storm sewers and the waterways of this area. There are 5 areas on my list that are in need of clean out and maintenance. That is one of them, and we are trying to procure the equipment to be able to do that. And the staffing, we have to squeeze it in whenever we're able because we just do not have the personnel or the equipment to address these concerns. We're playing catch up at this point, and we have 4 sinkholes from this year alone, and that's just because we haven't been able to go out and inspect and repair and maintain the storm sewer and streets. This is what happens when we ignore those things.
Yeah, but when you guys, because I travel that road twice a day, almost every single day, and it said steel plates, and I'm expecting this big hole. And all it is the kind of the side of the road kind of went down, which if you go down Pinnacle all the way through Jefferson Township, it's like that all the way down. I mean, where there is no culvert pipes, where there is nothing, it's always just because there's no shoulder, there's no nothing. So I understand what you're saying, that, but it's gonna cost us another almost $300,000 that we did not plan on this year. And it was something that was just on the side of the road that nobody ran over. Nobody, I mean, if there was a steel plate, I asked him, because I kept saying, well, where's the steel plate? Because I go up and down that road twice a day, and I never saw a steel plate. I literally had to look for it.
I have a video that can show you.
Oh, I stopped, and I found it. And it is completely off the road. It's not on
Did you
the
pull
road
the
that
steel
you
plate up
drive
and
on.
look at the hole?
It's off where the line is. It's on that side of the line. It's not where you drive.
Oh, I understand what you're saying now. Are you familiar with I'm sorry, you had a question? Okay. Are you familiar with the sinkhole that formed in Dryden Road earlier this year?
No. I am.
Okay, so that was a
same thing
hole
could happen.
that
Right.
was very similar to this one, except that was a smaller pipe and that was less deteriorated than this one. If we did not address this within this year, if we didn't find the hole at its current size and plate it, it would have swallowed at least half the road.
Can we go with the same size pipe? Why can't we just use the same size pipe if that pipe's been okay for the last, I don't know when it was put in, when was Pinnacle Road even put in? Why do we have to go big with a larger pipe, which is costing us more money?
We're not going with a larger pipe. We are replacing in
said-
kind.
You said we were going with a larger culvert.
We should go with a larger pipe based upon the hydrology and the evidence of the amount of water that is flowing through that area. But I decided to replace in kind instead of doing a further study in order to expedite the process.
So how much more would we be looking at to replace it with a larger pipe?
At that point, we're getting into custom-made pipes, so we're probably looking at least, I would say at least 50, probably to 100,000 more to up the sizing of the pipe.
I was just thinking in the future, will we have this problem again with the smaller pipe?
The cause of this issue was neglect on the pipe and lack of inspections, and frankly, it wasn't even on our maps, so I didn't even know it was there. So that is part of something that I am putting in for next year to make sure that we get a proper inventory and inspection of our storm sewers to prevent these kind of items. If it is a hydrology issue, that is something I can address, and we may be able to add a smaller pipe next to it, which would be a much smaller cost than upsizing this pipe now.
We've all seen and heard of the disasters when, like the bridges and all the infrastructure that is breaking now because it's not been addressed. So be a good time probably to start in Moraine to get it addressed.
It's reaction versus proaction.
Proactive.
Proactive.
Proactive. Well, I'll make a motion that we do this program, move it forward to the next meeting.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Burchett?
Yes.
Mrs. Witt?
Yes.
Mrs. Allen?
Yes.
Mayor Murphy?
Yes,
Mr. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Doherty?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lauren.
you.
Do you have any persons appearing before council tonight on any topic? All right, we'll go to final staff and city council reports. Finance Director,
I have nothing to report, thank you.
City Manager,
No items, Mr. Miller, thank you.
Mayor,
I have nothing further to report, thank you.
Law Director,
I have nothing, Mr. Miller, thank you.
Clerk of Council.
I have nothing, thank you.
Any department heads out there that have any final reports for tonight?
That sounds like
I just want to say thank you for the kind words about National Night Out. We couldn't do it without Sean and Stephanie and Alexa at the police department, and then my whole staff there worked tirelessly. We couldn't do it without Brent, Rocky, and Chris, and Tracy, everybody else at the city, and we couldn't do it without your support. So I appreciate the kind words, but it is absolutely a team effort. All of our community partners, it goes off well. Thank you. Thanks for letting us have it, so.
Thank you,
And we
Chief.
appreciate the citizens coming out and joining in.
Anybody else? If not, Ms. Allen, any further?
Nothing to add, thank you.
Ms. Witt?
I'd just like to congratulate Lieutenant Seagraves on his promotion.
Mr. Burchett?
I'll have no report, thank you.
Mr. Daugherty?
Nothing further report, Mr. Miller, thank you.
And I have nothing further. If that's the case, we will stand adjourned at 6:43 PM. Thank you all for coming.
See you in the morning.